Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I want to talk about something a little bit more it's kind of been on my mind lately a lot, and that's about as we get older, obviously our parents are also getting older, and you kind of what you don't really just getting comfortable what we don't realise. So, as many of you know, that I lost my dad when I was very young. I was only 13 when he passed, and that really kind of changed things for me. So I always thought, as any kid does, really, you always think your parents are going to be around forever, and that's it. And that's the sort of the outlook you have, because all you've known your entire life is that your parents are always going to be there. But what you don't realise is that at some point they are going to pass. But then it's kind of like, especially nowadays, like I feel like we don't realise how precious time is. And I think now, due to COVID and all that, I think we kind of realise how precious time is and how much time we don't really have with our family members, because we can't see them, or because of a number of reasons, really. And this really resonated with me, because like I always had a thought of, well, my mum and dad are going to be around forever, like, that was it for me. Like, I had no idea that my dad was going to pass when he did, and now that makes me scared, because everything I do is revolved around my mum. I plan my day out exactly how, well, not exactly how, but I plan my day out around her and how things are looking for her, whether it's I need to do shopping for her, whether it's a day where I'm not doing the shopping, but she needs her breakfast, she needs her medication, she needs this and this done. That's my day planned out. And then it's like, okay, what do I need to do for today? Like, have I got any YouTube videos to do? Do I need to do, am I going to do any writing? Have I got anyone to meet up with today? Like, those sort of things. Or is there any washing I need to put on? All those sort of things come into my mind towards the end of the day, really. And sort of like, I always think about, okay, what am I going to do for dinner for us two? What does she want for lunch? What does she want for breakfast? Have we got enough cereal? Have we got enough milk? All those sort of things, I think about on a daily basis, because that's my day. My whole life has revolved around my mum since I was 13. I've always made sure that she was alright, especially after because she suffers with epilepsy. I always made sure she was alright. I always, if she's had a seizure or whatever, I wouldn't go to school until she was okay, until I know she was settled and she'd taken her medication, she was dressed and she had her shoes on and all that, and before I left. And that revolved into college as well. And that in my daily basis, that's still my daily thing now, is just making sure she's okay and she's settled, and whatever she needs doing I will do for her. And then just that realisation that she might not be around forever is just like, well, what do I do then? Because my whole life has been around her, and it's just like, I kind of feel like as I'm getting older, it's kind of like, well, what am I going to do? It's just like, I don't have a job, not a proper job anyways. Like, I volunteer at the moment, like, I do Avon, but that's not going to carry on forever. Like, of course I want a proper job, but how can I? My initial thoughts are, how can I have a proper job when my entire day is revolved around her? Because she's more important than anything else. Like, she's my main priority is my mum. But then when she got ill last year with pneumonia, it scared the shit out of me, because it's just like, well, what do I do now? My whole day was looking after her. She was in hospital for 2 weeks, and yeah, we went to see her this whole time. The whole 2 weeks she was in hospital, I did not leave her side. I was there from excuse me, from the start of visiting times to the end. So I was there from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, sometimes 11, depending on what time they would, you know, give the medication and all that from the night staff. And I would go then, I'd say bye to her, see her in the morning, and then I'd go. Because that's just what I did. I would change her dressings. If she had any pressure sores or anything like that needed changing, I would do that. I would, you know, obviously she was, anything that needed doing, I would do it myself. You know, me and my sister would do it, but predominantly me. And then you kind of look at it and you're like, well, what do I do now? Like, you know, it's kind of like, well, what am I going to do? Like, what, we don't really, I feel like some kids these days, like, not kids, not especially kids, I feel like some youngish adults that haven't been through the sort of things that I've been through, like, they kind of don't have that understanding of, like, that understanding or that level of respect for their parents. Is just like, they don't get that level of security that they want, you know, because I know that my mum's not going to be around forever, but I kind of wanted to, because it's just like, well, what do I do now? You know, it's just like, I don't know how things are going to go. I don't know anything. Like, I don't know how my life is going to turn out without having my mum around, because that's all I've ever known, and that's all everyone's ever known, is having their family around them, having their parents around them. And then when things change, you kind of want to hold tighter onto those that are still around you, because you don't want them to go, because you want them to be around forever. But in reality, as morbid as it sounds, we've all got to die at one point. But hopefully, you know, we won't. Obviously we will, but I just want us to be around forever, man. Like, my day is filled with doing stuff for her, you know. And people are like, well, don't you mind? Like, don't you want to have a life of your own? I'm like, I have a life. It's just, you know, centered around, it's sort of arranged around her. It's arranged around my mum. And that's how I do things. And, you know, people are just like, well, why don't you just get a carer? And I'm like, that's not what she wants. But people don't, even when I was doing my hairdressing, there were some girls that were just like, but don't you want a life? Don't you want to do this? Don't you want to do that? I'm like, I have a life. I've done, you know, I've done a hairdressing course. I've done barbering, you know. I'm currently doing voluntary work with kids that are in foster care. That is my life, and that's what I want to do. I want to work with kids and be able to make a change for them. But at the moment, I can't do that. One, because of COVID and all that, and two, because of my mum. I don't want to have to rely on someone else, because I know what that does. I know relying on someone else isn't going to do the exact same things that I do for her. They're not going to make her laugh like I do. They're not going to, you know, do things the way mum wants them done. So I'd rather just do it myself, because I know for a fact that it's going to get done. And not that it's not going to get done with anyone else. It's just, you know, mum's got a routine, and that's what we have, and that's what we stick with. And I feel like it's been playing on my mind quite a bit, to be honest. And it's just like, I know she's not going to be around forever, but it's just like, well, what do we do? You know, we've always been like, you know, you always think that your parents are going to be around forever and everything's going to be hunky-dory and it's going to be sunshines and rainbows and all that sort of shit. But frankly, it's not all that time. It's not always that. It's not always that possibility of, you know, people being around forever, but that kind of, you know, you kind of have to sort of take a step back and look at life and be like, well, what do I want to do? You know, how can I make positive changes to to ensure that I get the best out of life, and I, you know, still maintain that contact with those people. And that's what we've got to ask ourselves, really, because I know what I'm doing, and I would say I'm attempting to make those changes, because they're not easy. But still, my main priority has always been my mum, and anyone that I come into contact with knows that, and I will make sure that anything that I need to do gets done before I even leave, especially for her, because it's just easier that way. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. It's just, well, what do we do, you know, as we get older? I know I had the fear of growing up as a young kid, you know, because of social services and not having my dad around and all that, but I won't change it for the fucking world. Yes, it was, you know, majority of it was just lived in fear, but I won't change it. I mean, yeah, I would change Mum getting ill. I'd love it if she was back up on her feet and been able to walk about and all that, but we don't know if that's ever going to happen again. But, you know, this might be it now. And I feel like as we get older, you know, what we see as like our future, or as kind of like our life in general, really, it kind of changes. Like the goalposts keep moving a little bit, because, like, you know, God has different plans, I guess. He likes to be, you know, you kind of have your own sort of set ways, and then God's like, no, the goalposts have to be a little bit further out, because obviously, like, he has a plan for us. But, you know, you do your best, really, in life, and you make your choices and you go with that. And if they're wrong, they're wrong. I mean, you know, you change it up and you do the best that you can, because that's all you can do, really. And that's basically it. It's my little sort of ramble over, I guess. It's kind of like, I hope I made a point here. I feel like I just sort of waffled on, but hopefully, if this makes completely sense to you, then you must be blessed. Or you just know me well enough to know what I'm on about. But yeah, hope you enjoy this video. This hoodie says it's my hug in a mug, and that's it.